This Tush Push shit isn't football, bro. I'm done with it. I was hating on it since last year. It's not football. You see shit like this all the time in games, and they end up changing the rule years later. You look back on, you're like, they really allowed that? It's really because I mean it's not really like a skill based thing. It's not like a football. It's just I don't know. I just don't think it's football, man. It's kind of more like rugby.
Hi, hello. My name's Chris Billings, noted Air Force fan. Clearly, you have never watched any of the service academies play football for the last, I don't know, like fucking 100 years. Like, this is very much football.
They don't run this.
They
don't run this.
Yes. If you watch,
no, they don't.
If you watch the service academies, yes.
Show me them.
Yes.
They do not
I
run
haven't
this.
watched enough, so.
No team runs this. No team runs this but the Eagles. And the Eagles are only getting away with it because they're choosing selective times to use it. This play is fucking unstoppable. They should just run this play every fucking play, and they would be able to score constantly.
I mean, if they were running every play, they'd only be getting 2 yards a play. They'd be faced with like 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6.
And what are you talking about? Tom Brady used to do the same thing. It's just he was under old school football where like, no, 4th down, like you don't go for it. It's all about.
You told me this is old school football.
It is.
You told me this play is old school football. So what's Tom Brady then? Explain this. I mean, it feels like a skill. When
it's more the Eagles going for it on 4th down. Like when it's like basically if it's 4th down and 2 and under, they're gonna do the tush push on you. Like that's what's different about. That's why it's more noticeable to people. Is it's not like they're just like running it on like 3rd and 1. Like no, they're running it on 4th down.
Yeah.
They ran it on 3rd down too.
They're running it on 4th down in their own territory as well.
Like
in the 4th quarter.
Your service academies aren't doing that.
It's just they know. They know if they get within 2 yards of that line, like yes, this is all of a sudden like this drive becomes or like this play becomes a 4-down play.
It's not football, man. You're just pushing players forward.
It's in the trenches, like stop them. Like other teams couldn't run this, so I don't see why like it's unfair. Because like pretty much like I'd say 30 of the other teams in the NFL wouldn't be able to run this successfully constantly. Like no, the Eagles practice this. They're good at it. They have like part of their success these last few years have been because of that lineman. Like the reason Jason Kelce is it's not just because he's the brother of Travis Kelce. It's because he's a really good fucking football player.
Can't disagree with that. I feel bad for him though, because he's got to be on the bottom of that pile every single time. So he's got like the full weight of a car on top of him every single time they do that.
I did see the meme of like Peter Griffin all contorted, and they're like, "This is Jason Kelce" at the end of every tush push. But like, no, like they just like they run it to perfection. Like they're good at it.
They get an unbelievable push on it too, because I was watching one of the plays. I saw Christian Wilkins just get completely blown up. Push back at the goal line.
Yeah. And one of like Tony, like one of your like football philosophies that stretched forever is NFL's a copycat league. Why is nobody copying this if it's so successful? It's because they don't have the linemen to do it. They don't have the personnel to do this.
It's true. They don't have Jason Kelce. It's just I don't think that they've had enough time to copy it. I don't know if they're going to make the decision if they're going to move forward with it or not. Because I don't think they're going to keep it, man. I think they're going to make a rule against it.
I think there's like we've seen this play. I've seen this play in the NFL. I've seen it in college. I think it's more just like a recency bias thing of just and the fact that, like I said, you're seeing it on 4th down. You're seeing them convert on big plays in their own territory. Things that like to the normal football brain, you're like, this shouldn't work for a team. Like a QB sneak on a 4th down in your own territory, like that's suicide in most cases.
No.
I mean, it's clearly different, and that's why the owners voted on it at their last league meeting. And I'm assuming they're going to go ahead and do it again in this year's league meeting. It was probably going to get more momentum to go ahead and go against it this year than they had last year, and it's probably going to get outlawed. Like this is how this league works. Just like you said, it's a
I don't think
copycat
it'll be
league.
outlawed. I think the NFL realizes this, and like, no, one team's like running it to perfection. Like, yes, if you set like multiple teams doing this, where it was just like this unstoppable play, like, yes, then you would see some regulation against it. But like, no, like, you saw it last night with the Vikings. Like, they tried to do it with Kirk Cousins, and you saw San Francisco fucking defensive player leaping over Troy Polamalu style. And like, so
Who was that? Fred Warner?
yeah, it was Fred Warner.
And then they had to change the rules for that, where you can't like push over a player when you leap over them, the Troy Polamalu rule. So like they're gonna end up putting players in defenseless and issue positions where they get injured, and so they're gonna end up changing this rule through that.
And that's
like,
the only way it's gonna get changed.
And that's
if Jason Kelsey like
happen.
snaps his ankle or something on one of these tush push plays, and then that's when it's gonna be like, okay, like we've had our fun, like let's wrap this up. But that's the only way you're gonna see some change out of it, is if you see like a meaningful injury occur from it. But you say it all the time, copycat league, nobody can copy this right now, so you gotta hand it to the Eagles.
Yeah. All right, that's enough Eagles talk. I've heard enough about the Eagles last few days.
Thanks for watching the Sports Buds. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe.